We're going to be getting going in just a few seconds here. If everybody can take their seats, we'll be getting going in just 2 minutes. We're going to get started now. So we are now up the SIIA industry report. Outsell, who covers the industry, has sized the industry this year at around $700 billion. The information industry really has a large footprint across a lot of areas. Ken Wash is our president and our fearless leader. He's going to give us an update. Ken, welcome.
Thank you, Kathy, and I'm going to keep this pretty informal. There's a lot been going on around SIIA, and I thought I'd spend a few minutes, no more than 10 minutes, trying to keep you up to date on what's happening. We're very proud to be part of, and the partnership between SIIA and InfoCommerce to put on data content has been fabulous. I mean, the intellectual capital that we tap, led by Russell Perkins, has been nothing short of astounding. To have a conference that survived not only for 21 years, but thriving and bringing in all kinds of new players into this segment of the information businesses is outstanding. I don't even know if Russell's in the audience here to hear these accolades, but well, we can let's give him let's show him the love for a great job. Well, one of the things, I mean, SIIA is a trade association, and fundamentally we represent you. We represent the industry that our members represent, and that our members reflect. And there have been significant changes in the last year, and I'd like to bring that to your attention. Well, first of all, in the last year, we merged with two thriving trade associations with large segments of members in different parts of the information business. First, we merged with the Specialized Information Publishers Association, or SIIA. We merged with that organization in January. And then in June, on June 30th, we merged with a 107-year-old trade association that has an incredibly rich history of representing the B2B media industry, and that is American Business Media. And I see a couple board members from ABM here. I mean, Gary Fitzgerald from Meister Media Worldwide. I think there's some members here from SIIA as well. Now, what's interesting about it is, why were all these trade associations proliferating? Well, they have a very rich history, and they had reasons why they were formed many years ago. But what's happening is, fundamentally, the B2B media business is undergoing, the greatest transformation in generations. And so having B2B media companies that are dependent upon an advertising model in one trade association, and B2B media companies dependent upon a subscription basis in another trade association, and those focused on data analytics in yet another trade association, made no sense to either those of us at SIIA and among those companies involved. So what we've done essentially is brought together these three media organizations into something we're now calling the SIIA Publishing and Media Group. Now on your tables, there was a little 4-page that describes the group. It's a little 4-pager like this. If anybody doesn't have a copy and would like to look along, Kathy Greenler-Sexton, if you can pass out a couple. Anybody need a copy of this? Because I think what's most valuable about this, and I'm going to run through this pretty quickly, is if you can see what we have planned, and you can also see, but I think the most important thing is people want to know who's involved. And one of the one of the most valuable aspects of SIIA is we're a trade association that we work for our members, and our members are driving the agenda. And so each one of these three divisions within here, ABM, our content division, and SIPA, have very active, involved, engaged boards of directors. And if you look on the back page, you can see who's involved. So that's the first question. Anytime you go to a party, you know, when I was young, you want to know, well, who's going to be at the party? I mean, who's there? Who am I going to interact with? Who am I going to learn from? And you know, we have a board of directors election in each of these divisions each year, and so there's some new blood that comes on to the boards, and there's plenty of opportunity for all of you who have not yet been involved in SIIA to get involved, and not just on the boards, but on committees and activities. One way to look at it is, well, we'll just go. The way to describe these three different divisions, ABM supports B2B publishing and media organizations. SIPA has been, you know, traditionally came out of the newsletter business, and SIPA supports specialized and niche publishing organizations. And SI's content division, headed by Kathy Greenler-Sexton, who's been the host of today's confab, supports digital content and information services. So what SIIA does, we put on conferences for sure, we put on webcasts and a number of things, but I hope you'll think of us as more than just a conference organizer. What we're trying to do is do a range of services, of value-added services for the industry, which include IP protection, advocacy, and networking. On IP protection, you know, one of the issues that's affecting almost all of our members today is patent litigation abuse. We have lobbyists in Washington working on this, on these patent bills. It's a complicated area, and hopefully, you know, if we can get beyond this sequester and the debt ceiling, we can actually get to some substantive issues involved with fixing some of this patent abuse. We have an entire anti-piracy department that'll protect your intellectual property. If you have piracy issues, if somebody's stealing your intellectual property, don't hesitate to contact us. We do this piracy work on behalf of our members. Another key area that's of interest to a broad range of our members is domain name allocations in these top-level domains. We have a staff of people working on those issues as well. I won't go through all the advocacy, but you know, one of the key elements that makes our industry unique is data-driven advertising and native advertising, and the use of behavioral metrics. In the post-Snowden era, we're finding ourselves lumped together with problems involved with protecting the United States from terrorism, and you know, if we're not careful, we're going to be in a position where we'll end up having legislation that'll make it very difficult for us to target our offerings to our customers in a fashion that will just make it more difficult to offer our customers what it is they're exactly looking for. You know, and data-driven analytics have been around since Procter & Gamble started doing it in the 1920s, in determining whether you wanted, you know, Ho-Hos or Hostess Twinkies, and that was in a totally analog world. What we're doing now with data is far more sophisticated, but we certainly don't want to be lumped in with backdoor issues involving the NSA and protecting our nation from terrorists. So it's a very deft issue that we're working on. We're not alone. There are a lot of other industries that focus on data-driven innovation, and I urge you, you know, be a member, be part of this effort, and every company in this room has issues with data-driven innovation, and you should be kept aware of what's happening in the area. I do want to talk for a second about some of the conferences. The next big conference that SIIA has coming up is the ABM Executive Forum, November 11th and 12th. I mean, let me introduce a couple people. Michael Alterio from ABM is in the back. Let me also introduce Heather Sedgwick, joined us a week or so ago, and she's in charge of sponsorships. Eric Friedel in memberships. Is Eric over there? Eric's over there. Good. Eileen Bramlett is our Vice President of Marketing, and thank you, Eileen, for pulling together this 4-page piece. Ron Levine is our editorial director. Ron, can you want to stand up? Ron, if you don't get Ron's daily, you're missing out on something. It really came out of SIIA, but what we're trying to do is trying to find more opportunities for cross-pollination. When I look at who's at this conference, I saw two people from FactSet who I saw last week at our Financial Information Services conference that we put on in Lisbon, Portugal last week. So the people from FactSet said, gee, in the same organization we can focus on real-time market data and also data-driven analytics hosted here in Philadelphia a week later. Similarly, I'm seeing some other people that have come from ABM that otherwise wouldn't have been involved. And so what we're trying to do with these various events is we're not trying to eliminate the unique character of each of these events and these activities, but we want to make each of these activities accessible and make you aware of them so that you can take advantage of them if they're of interest to you. And the fact that I see so many new faces here at Data Content indicates to me that I think our bet is paying off on that. Now I have an announcement which I think is going to be pretty exciting. Next year, for the first time, we're going to be moving this conference. After 21 years in Philadelphia, we're going to be bringing together this conference, the ABM Executive Forum, and the SIIA Marketing Conference into 3 co-located events because we want to provide an opportunity for cross-pollination across these siloed divisions, or what had previously been siloed divisions. So we're going to be holding the 3 events together at the Fontainebleau in Miami Beach it's November 10th through 12th. So mark your calendar, November 10th through 12th, 2014 in the Fontainebleau, and hopefully we'll get some experience as to whether people will be in the sessions or out on the beach. I guess the simple conclusion of what I wanted to raise with all of you is we work for you. And the one key takeaway I hope you can remember is we're like a television station in constant need of quality programming. I mean, we turn to Russell Perkins for the quality program around data and data analytics. We turn to other experts in other areas that are of interest to our broad membership. Now, so whether you're in B2B media, whether you're in advertising-based media or subscription-based media or data analytics or advertising networks, we're all part of this publishing and media group, and you can see lots of opportunities for you to be involved and be part of our programming. And it's not just at the major conferences, it's concerned with webcasts and other activities as well. I think this piece, that's it. Oh, we went too far. I think that if you look in this 4-page thing, you can see how many things are coming up just in the next couple of months. Whether it's webcasts on the models of excellence of 11 different business models for B2B media companies, or whether it's focused around our new webcast series on mobility. I mean, there's one thing that SIIA, ABM, and our content division all have in common is that everybody's focused on a mobile strategy. We're not focused on a mobile strategy here at this conference, but there are plenty of opportunities for you to get that necessary education and input from people from among the SIIA membership. That's really all I had to say. I'm delighted that so many people are here. I think about half of you are members and half of you are not members. I urge you, if you're not a member, to think about membership. See Eric Friedel, I'll ask him to raise his hand again, or me, or Kathy, or Eileen, or Heather, and we hope that you'll get involved. I have 1 or 2 more minutes. Are there any questions anyone has about sort of the direction that this organization is trying to take?